Everybody, Thursday night edition, cast iron in real life. Let me just get connected to the chat. The comment section, my favorite part of the whole thing. Love the comment section, by the way. But if anybody's in, if they could please hit that like button and let me know that you can hear me okay, that would be greatly appreciated. As once again, it takes me about 30 seconds to log into the chat for whatever reason. I don't know why it's always such a pain, but it is. Gives everybody a chance. Ronald Coward, what's going on? Greg Hart, good to see you, GH. Val's Black Cat rules. Good evening to you too. So glad you could make it. Let's see here. Oh, it's not wanting to let me log into the comment section. Let me refresh the screen and we'll try it again. Let me just get out of that and go over here. But yeah, so far, evening, it's the Beegs and Badger show. Yeah, the Beegs is about ready for a timeout. To be really honest, right about now, Beegs is really getting on my nerves. She thinks for some reason she can smell everything, so she's out here in full scavenger mode, and she's just been all over me here for the last like 10-15 minutes, thinking that there's something out here that she's getting, and she's not getting anything yet. So she's been underfoot for the past 10 or 15 minutes, as dogs do. Bob the Builder, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you, good to see you. Let's get you guys in here just a little closer. There we go. Cock that down a little bit. And there I'm connected the chat onto the monitor, which is nice. So, and speaking of the Beagle, Biggs, what are you doing? She is, I just kicked the fan on and she is about to get rollered before we do anything else. Come here, Beagle. Come here. Want to get a roller? I'm going to roll you up. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, she's shedding like crazy today, so she gets a little roller. She loves this, actually. And I turned the fan on. She was right in front of the fan, so I saw some dog hair coming. There we go. All right. That's a nice little trick for for when your dog is shedding in the house. It kind of keeps them from. There we go. And you can have a little, you want a treat? You want a liver treat? Okay, that'll get you out of my, that'll get you out of my hair for 5 seconds. Ready? Do a little spin there. We'll do a little Beegs cam early tonight, since she's thinking that she has to be involved. Well, full on Beegs cam. Yeah, it's 100% Beegs cam right now, because she's just been 100% under my foot for like the past, like I said, 10-15 minutes, because she smells everything cooking or starting to get. I'm heating up the skillets, so she thinks as soon as she hears the knob on the stove going that she's about to get a treat. So there we go. All right, so there we are. Now we can get started. So tonight, if you saw the thing, the thumbnail, I was going to do some plain pork chops and applesauce, but I decided I really wanted to get summer with it. So we're going to do a baked chili, peach and chili, which is one of my favorite homemade sauces to make. So we're going to do peach and chili barbecue sauce. For the pork chops, we're going to do some rhubarb applesauce with with some strawberries in there. So it's going to be pretty, it's a little more summery than what Alice made on, than what she made on the Brady Bunch. Okay, Biggs, you gotta move. You gotta get out of the way. Okay, so let's see. Patrick says, just arrived, looking like I'm just in time. Yeah, you're just in time. You just missed me taking a lint roller to the dog, and so she doesn't dog hair everything as I'm cooking. But I've got a few things heating up. One of the cool things that I'm going to break out for tonight's live is I've got this back here. It's already heated up. I need to grab my pot holder for it too. But right back here, this is something that you don't see in many collections. I don't know, they weren't very popular sales-wise when they were out, but back in 93 to 2007, Lodge made these number 7 cast iron skillets. Now they don't make them anymore. They stopped making them in about 2007. They continued to sell them till about, according to Lodge, till about 2010, 2011, and once the supply of these went away, they completely went away. They do not make them anymore. And I was lucky enough to find it in an antique store a year and a half ago or so, this number 7, and it came with, if you guys can see that, the number 7 lid, which is even more cool. And it's one of the few pieces in the Modern Lodge collection that are just almost impossible to find. Every once in a while I will get on there and, hey Zoe, how are you? Rick Stumball, what's going on? Everybody's starting to filter in. Sean, nice to see you. Yeah, and this is one of those pieces that you just don't find. And I was lucky enough, I didn't pay a fortune for it, and it was in great shape. It didn't take me a lot to really clean it up. It was just there. I passed it, and I thought to myself as I passed it, I went home and I checked on the internet to see if, how common this was, and then I never found one. So immediately the next morning I got up and I went back to the antique store and I picked it up. And I have yet to see one of these online. And even when I talked to Lodge about these skillets, they're like, yeah, kind of. We made them, but we don't know when we quit making them. And I talked to a few of their customer service reps and then a production guy, and he was like, yeah, we made them from like 93 till about 2005 to 2007, and then once the supply ran out of them, we never made them again. So they're pretty. Pat Z, how are you? They're really hard to find, and I was lucky enough to get it for super cheap. I don't think the seller knew what they had, but yeah. So we're gonna use that tonight. I think this was in one of my commonly uncommon videos that I need to do a lot more of, because that's kind of my collection. I have a lot of the rare pieces, of the hard to find pieces. I should say rare piece, but hard to find pieces in common collections. So that's kind of my bag as far as I collect. But anyway, Crazy J, cooking some crack. Yeah, you're just in time. Let me see. But thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up, and thanks for hitting the comment section. Please hit the like button. We are so close to our goal of 500 subscribers. That's getting really close. And tonight, if all goes well, we should actually hit 100,000 views, which I never thought back 6 months ago when I started doing this that I would hit 1,000 viewers, let alone 100,000. So that's pretty cool, and hopefully by tonight that's hit. But I've got everything heated up. Let me grab my oven mitt for this, because I am going to need that. I have to get that off the rack, and then we're going to get started. All right. Had to dig through the rack. Could you guys hear the clanging? There we go. Okay, so there's that. That's on there. All right, so what we're going to get started with tonight is we're going to do the sauce first. We're going to do the applesauce first. And this is going to be not just applesauce, but I've got some rhubarb from out of the garden today. I got some strawberries out of the garden today, and we're going to throw those in there. I've been snacking out of the garden all day, and it's been fantastic. My cherry tomatoes are starting to come on. The green onions are starting to pop out. Radishes. I pulled about a dozen radishes today, which was pretty cool. And so I've been eating out of the garden, and I'm going to continue to eat out of the garden till sometime around mid-October, hopefully. Watching from New Zealand. Hey Patrick, what's going on? I watch somebody from, I watch a fitness instructor from New Zealand, Natalia. She's fun. So if you're in the New Zealand area, you should check her stuff out. Let me grab a drink. Yeah, New Zealand, that's pretty cool. Where did I get the ladybugs? I got them from Amazon. And that's the other reason that it is so important that I get to the 500 subs, because I'm not trying to, I can actually put the links up to where I get stuff. And then you guys can find it on your own. Yeah. Like I said, I watched Natalia, the personal trainer in New Zealand. That's the workouts that I do. And yeah, I've noticed that it's very, very cold there. I never know what the actual temperature is, because she always does everything in Celsius, but she's a good channel to watch. But anyway, let's get started with the sauce. I've got this, and over here I've got a 1 quart Lodge Dutch oven, and that's what I'm gonna cook everything down into. Let me grab my water out as well, because we're gonna need about 3/8 cups of water for this. And I'll set the water off to the back part. We don't need to throw that in there too quick, but we're going to be using that. We're also going to be using in the back, if you can see that, for the barbecue sauce, the homemade sauce tonight, I'm going to be using the 2 quart Lodge Dutch oven. So it's going to be a Lodge night. There's not going to be any super rare Griswolds or Wagners or Pickle Favorites or anything like that coming into play. It's just going to be that. Hey Fuzz, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. So let's get started with our fruit and get that started getting cut up. So I've already washed this, but I am going to peel it, and I need one of my paring knives. I'm going to peel this up real quick, and we'll throw that stuff off to the side. And off to this side, and then I'll flip that over. Am I in the shot here doing that? That down to where you guys can see it, sorry. But yeah, that's pretty cool, New Zealand. People have been showing up from all over the planet here the last few, about the last month and a half or so, which has been pretty neat. Got a lot of people, surprisingly, from the UK that show up. And about this time, let's see. Val, is this making you nervous? Let's see, there we go. There, I got it. That was the piece I wanted. I wanted to get that off there. I'm not going to use I don't need a whole lot of heck of a lot of rhubarb for this. What we're going to go with is about 1 cup to 1.5 cups of fruit. And then we're going to do 1/2 cup of sugar and 3/8 cups of water. And that's going to be our sauce. I might throw a little cinnamon in there. Maybe a little allspice to kind of snazz it up a little bit. Oh, I got to get this side too. But it's pretty important when you're doing like applesauce or something like that to take the peels off your rhubarb if you're using rhubarb. There we go. You gonna see everything okay? Yeah, I grow rhubarb. It's nice stewed with custard. It is nice stewed with. I have it with. I make a sauce to put on ice cream. So a lot of times that's what people call custard other places. Custard also is custard, so. And I even got a few strawberries out of the garden today, which is pretty unusual, because usually the strawberries are what deters my rabbits from eating everything else in the garden. So they were gracious enough to leave me a couple of the strawberries that I had today, which are these. They were nice enough to let me have those. But yeah, as far as the ladybugs go, I get them from Amazon, and I need to put a review down there. And if I put a review down, then you can see which ones I get, because I get a particular brand every year. I always cut the white parts off the bottoms of the rhubarb stalk because it's really fibrous, and you don't need that. Well, let's see if we can get that. I'm going to get my paring knife here before I actually make Val have something to really worry about. Give her a reason to actually worry. But we'll just take and peel that off the top. There, get that off there. And yeah, like I said, I was just gonna do like regular pork chops, and then I had all this other I've been wanting to make barbecue sauce, and I thought, well, I'll just make the barbecue sauce. And I've been saying it on the channel a couple times about the barbecue sauce that I make, and I make a few different kinds, and for whatever reason I cannot find my no ketchup all molasses barbecue sauce recipe. I cannot find it anywhere. But this doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of ketchup because I don't like to use ketchup in my barbecue sauce, but I also don't like using a ton of tomato paste in there either. Let me just get this back into there. See me okay? Am I in the shot? I just wonder. Let's see, and I'll check the, try and check the chat here. Try not to check the chat while I do this part. But like I said, I want to have these basic sweeter fruits in there and the tartness in here, and then we'll throw the apple in there, and that'll give it a lot of juice. So let's see here, what do we got? And whatever apple's left over, I'm planning to eat with my dinner. So I've got about just under a cup, so we'll fill the rest of that with the apple. And this is just a Gala apple. I wish I had one of those cool apple peelers, but I do not. So we're just gonna do this and get that off there real quick. And then we'll just take off what we need from this apple, and then I'll snack on it as we go. Because today was, like I said, I did get some stuff out of the garden, and I threw kind of a tuna salad together for lunch, which was pretty nice. And that's about what I've had today. That and some Triscuits. I don't know, people out there are a big fan of Triscuits, but I'm a huge Triscuit guy. I love Triscuits. With a little bit of tuna salad for dipping. And they don't have to be anything, because this is all going to be, you know, it doesn't have to be anything super uniformed. We just got to get it into kind of diced pieces, and that's going to be about it. Mercy B, what's going on? Juana Rosa Castro, hello, how are you? Let's see if we got anybody else in here going. Yeah, boy, the comment section is going on my monitor is going pretty fast. So if I miss anybody, I apologize. Just gonna dice these up, and then we'll throw our little bit of water in there. Like I said, 3/8 cup of water is all we're gonna need for that, to get that. And then I'm gonna set that off to the side, and I'm just gonna let that simmer up. Now, in all reality, what I would want to do is I would want to make the sauce and then set it aside to cool. But will that happen? Who knows? And probably not. I'll probably be eating a warm applesauce, but there's nothing wrong with a warm applesauce either. I don't mind that. And I think it's about time that we start getting the grills out. Now, since my main cast iron grill is not functioning this year, because I've said before I cannot find the coal bed for it. So, but I still have a Sportsman's grill, and I have a couple kickoff grills. So I can break those out and throw those out on the table, and we can maybe venture outside and do some grilling out there, because cooking inside in the middle of July is not my ultimate. I'm not too huge on that. Not too. Jay Justice, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. I might speaking of Jay Justice, I might be doing some more sourdough bread this weekend. So we're at about right around a cup and a half of fruit. So that's all we need. And then I'm going to pop the lid off of this. I hope that's going to be a big enough. If not, I've got another few Dutch ovens laying around. We can always, if that's not going to be big enough. But I think it is, because I'm pretty sure I've done this before. So just move this off to the side. We'll get our 1 1/3 cup of water in there. Or no, I'm not, so not 1 1/3. 3/8 cups of water. That's what we need. 3/8 cups of water. So I've got my 1/8 of a cup here. Oh shoot, I forgot to oil this. Oh my goodness, hold on. I forgot to put oil in there. That's gotta happen. There for a second I was thinking that I was working with something else. No. There's the shark. We'll just empty that out and dry it right quick. That's not a big deal. We got plenty of water, plenty of time. But I want to put some oil in there so I don't wreck my seasoning in here, because these are freshly re-seasoned, so I don't really want to do that. We got all kinds of new people showing up. I wish I could keep up with the chat. Once I get everything rolling, you guys know how it works in here. Use butter for the fruit. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Is use butter for the fruit. So, that going. All right. You have 400 subscribers. Good job. Really? Wow, that's great. Then it's went up a couple. That's what we need. We need to hit that. We need that subscribe button hit, and we need the like button hit. Because I'm actually really surprised at the amount of folks that show up to see this silly little channel at this point, to be super honest. It's been, it wasn't long ago that it was real nice just to have 6 viewers, 6 to 10 viewers, or 20 viewers, not 6 to 10,000. Let's see, double tap that screen. Yeah, thanks Pat Z, thank you so much. Yeah, so we hit over 400 subscribers. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I'm hoping with as many folks as we've got in here that we only needed, I think, checking the stats today. I think it needed 200 views to go to 100,000. So that's pretty rad, if you ask me. Okay, so we get that in here. We get our little brush as I climb through my iron. And brush that around real quick. Get that all on there. Get that all nice and done. There we go. There we go. Glad I remembered to do that. So just a little pat of butter in there. You get that, and then now we'll do our 3/8 of water, and that's going to be about it. You can, if it's really runny, if your fruit's really, if you get it real runny, then just throw like a half teaspoon of cornstarch in, and that'll fix it. Fix it really well. So there we go. So there's our water. Throw our fruit in, and get that into there. I wasn't really worried about cutting the strawberries up too much, and I had just enough straw. I think I got like 6 strawberries out of the garden, and I couldn't believe that they were actually kind of big. Because usually, right before I go out to pick, like if I say, well, I'm going to go get I'll have a few strawberries ready tomorrow, because I only have like one strawberry plant. And usually if I say they're just about ready to pick, that's when I go out and find, like, I'll go out in the very early morning after I walk the beagle, and there's a rabbit sitting out there really like in the middle of the yard, looking really guilty, and I don't have any more strawberries. Let's see here, just kind of mixed around. I'll throw a little bit of cinnamon and some allspice on there, just to kind of get everything going. Yeah, true Brady style, pork chops and applesauce. Somebody put in there, oh gosh, the name escapes me. Oh, and I needed just a little bit of sugar. I need 1/8 cup of sugar into there. And that's all I'm gonna use. 1/8, or no, I'm sorry, 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup of sugar. Then once I move the sugar out of the way, and then a 1/4 cup of sugar into that. So 1, 2, so that'll give me a 1/4 cup. There we go. Nice. Okay. Spread that down into there. Just kind of mess it a little bit. There we go. Put that back. I just want to flick. Should have used a smaller spatula. That all good coated around there. And the butter will help a little bit too. There we go. It's looking pretty good. Let me check the comment section here. Sometimes on Sunday AM, James, yes. Nutmeg? Oh, nutmeg. What was I thinking? Definitely nutmeg. Maybe we'll just do nutmeg instead of the cinnamon. Or we'll just use pumpkin spice. We can just use pumpkin spice and then I'll just use pumpkin spice and then it'll all be in there. But I will add a little bit more nutmeg into that. That's for sure. So let me set that right there. And I don't have this on a real high heat. It's just between 2, just a little past 2 in there. And let me grab my pumpkin spice. Does anyone know if Motomac is going to ever go back to do cast iron Wednesday again? You guys probably know a lot better than me because I am not on social media other than YouTube. So if he posts stuff on Facebook or a little bit of nutmeg sprinkle in there, for you, Pat Z, for being so diligent. And personally, for me, there can never be enough nutmeg. Let's see. Tribal Chief, what's going on, buddy? How are you? Good to see you. And I'm going to pull out the pumpkin spice, and then that will have a little bit of all of it in there. If I can get it out of there without knocking everything over. There we go. There we are. And a little bit of pumpkin spice. Just a few sprinkles of that. There we go. Just a little bit of that, some beard cam for the beard lovers out there. There we go. And that'll have a nice fruit taste to it. It won't be overly sweet, overly sugared up. None of that. It'll be just right. And I'm going to put that back there, uncovered. I think that looks pretty good. Can you just, I'll bring you guys in there to check that out real quick. This looks really nice. Really pretty. It's out of the way of the comment section. There you go. Yeah, that's looking really good. And as that simmers down, usually takes this about 20 minutes or so, which I think is going to be just about long enough to make the sauce as well. So there we go. Get that off of there. And these are hot too, so I got these heating up. I'm actually going to jack the heat up on the back one a little bit. And there we go. Set that right in there. Because I have so much space to work in. That's the fun part. It's like doing this. This is like doing a show, doing a live stream in an elevator. Let's see. Politics on Cast Iron channel is a death wish. Yeah, man, that's his channel. He can do what he wants on his channel. I try to keep this sort of middle of the road. There's a million political channels out there. That's his channel. If he wants to do that, that's his business, And if people want to go for that, then that's up to them too. I don't really have an opinion on it. I just know that I don't do it because there's a million other channels. There's literally, I can't turn on YouTube without having to wade through the umpteen thousand political channels complaining about something. So I try to keep this about the cast iron and the cooking and give everybody a break from all that kind of business. Let's see here. And then there we go. And all that. I don't think Mudbrooker's having a show next week. I was sort of in and out on his program on Tuesday. So I don't know if he's doing anything or not, but we'll have to see. There we go. And we'll give that one final stir around. And we're going to go to the fun part. The sauce is what I've been looking forward to making. Applesauce is rad, but making sauces I love making sauces. And I guess this technically is a sauce, but applesauce, you know, it is a sauce, but let's see. I'm going to throw the lid on that. Like the excess sugar off there that I spilled, in case nobody noticed that. And then we'll move on to the fun part, which is going to be the sauce. I'm really looking forward to making the sauce. I love the sauce. Even though it does involve ketchup, which I'm not super big on, it is a really good sauce. And I will flash the sauce recipe card up here in a moment and go from there. So turn that back one on, and then we'll bring this over. This is heated up too. Let me get a... Yeah, I don't think it is. Let me see. Lake History Guy, hey, good to see you. I haven't been in a little while. I haven't seen you in here for a little bit. Let's see, we'll pop this over there. And then I'm going to oil that up. Let me turn this other burner off because I don't need it. And we'll pop these. These little quart 1 and 2 quart Dutch ovens. If you don't have these, I really recommend getting those. They're so handy to have. And the lids, the 2 quart comes with a number 5 lid that fits everything lodge, and then the number 1 or the 1 quarts, they fit all the number 3s. So the number 3 lodge. So if you don't have it, you know, you don't want to spend the... If you're looking for a number 3 lid, and that's all you're looking for, and you don't have one of those little 1 quarts, it's kind of a nice little, you know, way to save yourself a few bucks on buying just the lid, and you get the other thing with it. So we got just a little bit of oil in there, and I'm gonna use my brush again. Even though it's got butter on it, it's not gonna make that big of a difference. We'll just wipe that around, because there is going to be some acid in this, and I'm not really wanting to. The seasoning on these are pretty fresh. I did reseason these myself. I did strip these down and reseason them. So not too long ago, I think back before the holidays is when I re-stripped all these again and put some actual seasoning on it. And when I say seasoning, you guys ready? Get ready, because here's where the ad comes in. I re-season it with cast iron cure, my own handmade beeswax, avocado oil, and grapeseed oil cast iron seasoning. Available on eBay. Pick it up. It's been selling like crazy. It's the number 1 trending seasoning on eBay. There, that's out of the way, thankfully. Okay. And we will, let me see. Look here and check out the comment section real quick. Everybody's saying hi to each other. That's pretty cool. Plug it. Yeah, I have to. It's the only way. I can't put my links in. Once I get to 500, I can put my links in and I can shut up about it. So if everybody bears with me till that point, I would be really happy about that. So anyway, let's move back over to the cutting board real quick. And we'll get started. I'll flash up here. You guys can see the recipe for the barbecue sauce. real fast. And I'm going to start from the top. Now I already have all the the powdered ingredients. I have all the spices and everything already in this bowl, and then we'll work on everything after that. But it's 3/4 cups ketchup, 1/2 cup of vinegar, 1/4 cup brown sugar, 1/3 cup molasses. Now if you don't have brown sugar, I don't have brown sugar, which I don't usually keep brown sugar in the house very often. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to go 1/2 cup of molasses and 1/8 cup of brown sugar. And because if I was going to make brown sugar, I'd have to do equal parts of regular sugar and equal part of molasses, and I don't feel like doing that. So I'm just going to up the molasses and lower the sugar, and it's going to turn out one way or the other. 2 tablespoons of mustard, 3 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 1/2 teaspoon of all the powders of onion powder, and everything in there is in 1/2 teaspoons or 1/4 teaspoons. So you got a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, you've got a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and then 1/4 teaspoons of salt, cayenne pepper, liquid smoke, paprika, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then 1/2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper, liquid smoke, 1/2 teaspoon paprika, and a 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric, and that's going to be it. And we're also going to add, since it's going to be a peach chili sauce, we're also going to add 1 tablespoon of chili flakes, and I'm going to throw in cayenne pepper. So it's going to be spicy. This is one of my favorite sauces. And then as far as barbecue goes, now the one thing I do is I don't have as much luck using regular peaches, like fresh peaches or canned peaches. Canned peaches tends to make it really, really super sweet, but I have great luck with frozen peaches for whatever reason. I'm not sure why that is, other than the canned ones make it really, really, really overly sweet. But regular peaches, when I use regular peaches, it adds absolutely no peach flavor to it at all. So there's that. Let's see if I get sample. I'll tell others. If you want one, I'll send you one. Let me see. Never had olive go bad on me. I used to go through enough. I've never had it go bad on me either, olive oil, because I use so much olive oil that it never gets that far, to be really honest. So we're going to throw that onto, we're going to throw the 2 quart onto number 3, and we're going to start mixing together. I'm just going to mix the sauce right into the Dutch oven. So I'm going to put you guys back over here, and we're just going to go from right there. So we're going to start out with, let me see, this is my 1 quart, yeah. So we're going to do 3, let me see, let me get that over there. 3/4 cup ketchup. Like I said, ketchup is not my favorite thing to deal with, but I cannot find just my regular molasses recipe, so we're all going to have to just deal with that till I find it. And I went back, I thought I had it bookmarked on my in my files, and I do not have it bookmarked in my files. And I'm going to turn that down just a little bit. I bumped it up to 3, and that's just going to be a little too much. We're just going to start this. We're going to have cooked. We're not going to have simmered, we're going to have cooked. So there we go. There's the first part. And I'll just go down the rest of my list here. And then we'll do 1/2 cup of vinegar. Missing dubs tonight, yeah. Badger, I was just kidding, save your cure for those whom have money. I'd send you some, I don't care. Let's see, then 1/2 cup of the vinegar. This is just white vinegar. You can use apple cider as well, which it doesn't, and it will add a little bit of body to it actually. But I had this vinegar right in front of me, so as a lot of cast iron restoration folks do, the vinegar is always not very far away. Let's see here. scrape that out. I'll probably use my smaller spatula, which I think I'm going to do. Or I'm just going to make a mess. Bigger mess than I always usually make. As I kick the camera. I got to kick the camera at least, I think there's a minimum of 5 times that I have to kick the camera for every episode. Especially the Thursday ones. Especially Thursday. That seems to be the one where I really kick the camera a bunch. So we get that into there. And then we got how much of that. So then we're going to do our 1/2 cup of molasses. Which molasses is one of my all-time favorite things to cook with. Makes everything. Molasses and butter make everything better. They just do. So there's the 1/2 cup of that. And like I said, I moved it up because I'm only going to put 1/8 teaspoon of the sugar in because I don't have brown sugar, or normally that would be 1/4 of a cup. And I don't have that, so we're not going to mess with it. We're not going to worry about it. So there's that. There we go. You see that okay? I should probably move the camera over just a smidgen more. I think after 90 some times I've done this, I'd have that camera angle worked out. Let me see here. Then we'll do our 1/8 of a cup of sugar. One-eighth cup of sugar. I know this might look like brown sugar. I just get the unrefined sugar, which kind of is like brown sugar. It's this basically brown sugar. It's almost brown sugar. It's like ultra light brown sugar to me, in my own personal opinion. So there's that in there. Mercy B, you out? All right. Well, I'm glad you showed up. Thank you so much for stopping in. Appreciate it. I really do. Let me see here. So we got that part. Got our molasses. Now we're going to do 2 tablespoons of mustard. I tried making a honey mustard sauce the other day, and it really didn't go that well. I wasn't absolutely jazzed with it like I thought I would be. Oh, this is an unopened one. What the heck's that about? Thought I just opened one. I bet there's gonna be 2 mustards in my refrigerator that are brand new. Let me open this up real quick. Let me see. Oh, there's Cynthia Wesley. What's going on? We were just talking about you. And it was actually good. Believe it or not. Well, I'm glad to see you. Use Wober's horseradish. That is good stuff. Wober's is pretty popular here. If the horseradish sauce itself, Wober's is really big. Let's see. There's one. Until this is just opened. Give it a smack. There we go. And 2. There we are, that. Got a feeling I'm going to forget something, but I don't know. I feel like... Now there's nobody out there. Stop. There's nobody there. Don't make me have to shut that curtain. Don't make me have to shut the curtain. Okay, and then 3 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. As everything's stuck to the molasses. William Perrins, that's where it's at. Let me see here. So 3 of these. There we go. Good as gold. Bright as the mail. Wash your sister's sauce. Yeah, I've heard people say that before. Let's see. Someone's at the door. Biggs knows. She knows something's at the door. I don't know. She's not big on barking, so it must have been. Oh, the neighbors. The neighbors are cooking out, and she loves the neighbor lady. She loves the neighbor lady. So that's all. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and throw the liquid smoke in there, which is a half teaspoon of liquid smoke. So let's get that in there while we're thinking about it. And this is the hickory one. And this is the quarter teaspoon, so I'm not overdoing. Even though it may look like it. I'm not. There we go. So there's the liquids in there. Now for all the powder. One of my favorite parts, the powder. Do with that what you will. Okay, so that's in. And then we're going to do 1 tablespoon, which is awesome because I'm about ready to run out of this one, which means I get to crush up more of my own pepper flakes. And a tablespoon of that. This is going to be spicy, so if you're not down for spicy, then you might want to back this part off and do just a teaspoon. But I am all about the spicy. So, and I've done this a few times. This is not my first rodeo making this sauce. The Beaks wants more game time. Yeah, she could be a little. She's definitely ready for her big moment. So let's put that in there, and we'll get our half cup of frozen peaches in there. And then I'm going to smash those up to kind of move the process along just a little bit. And where is my smasher? I had it sitting out here. I had it sitting out just to use. And of course, I've moved it from its normal spot and now I can't find it. Ain't that the way? Ain't that the way? There we go. Here I found it. Okay, I set it behind myself. Let's see, flaming hot sauce. Yeah, this is gonna be good. Wolverine Castro, what's going on? And applesauce, absolutely. Needs more spicy. Yeah, that's gonna be. It's not gonna be as bad as it sounds. And I've actually even added Tabasco to this, and had 0 problems. If Vernon were here and he saw me breaking this thing out, he'd fall in love. That's for sure. So we got that in there, and we'll just give it a nice mix while we've got all this going in there. But if you guys can you guys see down in there real good? Maybe back it up just a smidgen. There you go. This is a really pretty sauce. It's got a great color to it, and it works really good for anything on the grill, which is usually where this gets used. I'm not big on barbecue in the house, but tonight I'm making the exception because I don't have nobody wants to watch me use the Weber. I did get a new Weber for the outside that was a little more portable than my big grill, and I didn't think that I would have as much difficulty finding the coal bed for my grill. And that's just become a huge, like, have you ever been looking for something for so long and you're just like, hell with it, I'm just gonna get another one? Like, that's really where I'm at with it. Like, I'm just so sick of looking for that. And I've looked at all these stores, and I'm really good at tracking stuff down on the internet. Like, that's my honest to God, that's like my bag. I love searching for stuff on the internet, and I'm really good at it. And I'm telling you what, I cannot find that thing to save my life. And I went to the manufacturer, I called them, and calling companies anymore is like, it's just a non-existent thing of the past. There's no sense of even calling manufacturers because, you know, I had one grill company that I called a parts place to find it. And I mean, literally, it took them, it was almost 3 weeks before they called me back to tell me they had no idea what the hell I was talking about. I mean, it's so frustrating anymore to try and find parts for stuff. It's just crazy. But Yeah, and you know, I haven't had a Weber grill, Jay Justice. I've not, and be totally transparent, I haven't had a Weber grill in probably 10 years since I picked up my other grill. And I'm actually on the second one of my other grills, the grill brand that I have now. I'm on the second one because when I moved into this place, I left it, I actually sold it, my other one to shouldn't say sold it. I basically gave it to my neighbor because I didn't want to haul it, and I just picked up another one about 4 or 5 years ago. And that grill bed went out like last year, in the middle of last year, and then I kind of jimmied it up with one of those, with a Lodge, I jimmied it up with a Lodge, the vegetable grills. They're real long, about yay big, and they have like all the holes in them. And I had one that I bought that I'd been sitting around with, and it cracked is like the minute I used it, and then I was using that because I didn't care what happened to it. And then, so then the rest of the coal bed, I was using that as part of to patch the hole where the coal bed was, and now the whole coal bed's went, so. But yeah, I've got a Sportsman grill out there. I thought, you know, I mean, that'd be fun to do like a steak or, you know, some stuff like that, like fajitas or something. I've done fajitas on it before. And trying to think, shish kebabs would be good. I do a lot. That's the one thing. It's like it's like getting to be the middle of July, and I haven't even had shish kebabs yet, which is usually about 2 to 3 times a week of what I eat. I can't believe I haven't done a shish kebab video already, because that's one of the main things in my summertime diet that I do all the time is shish kebabs, and I haven't had one this year. I almost thought about breaking out my double play Lodge griddle and doing them on there just because I wanted them so bad, but I don't know. It's not the same as doing it outside, that's for sure. So the sauce, I'm gonna smash these down just a little bit too. And I like to keep them chunky. I actually like to keep them, I don't like to run it through the peaches through the food processor because they're not as good. They're just not as good as when you leave them semi in their pieces. It just adds so much flavor to the barbecue sauce when you get a nice piece of peach in there. Let's see, there we go. Just cut down in there. That's pretty good. And they'll break up a little bit too as they simmer. And one of the things about this sauce that's a lot different than a lot of sauces out there for barbecue sauces is in 20 minutes, this is 20 to 30 minutes of simmering, it's ready to go. You don't have to leave it overnight. You don't have to have a really good quality flavor. It's got it. It's got it in there. It's already ready to go. And I love that, because usually if you know, for folks that, you guys that show up every week, you know, I always say it's better the next day. Well, this is one of those that it's not bad, right? It's really good right off the stove. So let me just discard this. So I don't think I'll need that anymore. There we go. But yeah, get a good look at that. That sauce is absolutely beautiful. Something's Ming's fault. Peach and chicken, a new recipe. This sauce is great on chicken as well. I mean, it's just a really, really, really versatile sauce. I absolutely love it. Let's see, let me check in here. Hope everybody's good. William Z, Val, Huey, Fuzzy Wuzzy, Mercy, Greg, Ronald, and the rest of the family. As the salmon, it's when you need a hot side and a cool side. When you've got 3 to 4 chunks of meat, and it's a struggle. Let me see here. Where's Corey? Yeah, Corey Clark's not in tonight. There we go. Let me just back you guys off there, because I'm going to move that out of the way, and we're gonna get to making. We're gonna start the pork chop part of this. Let me get my oven mitt down, and we'll check out. We'll come back over and we'll check out our horseradish, our applesauce. Let's see how the applesauce is coming along. There we go. Oh, that's looking good. We'll leave the top. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. That smells so good. I'm gonna leave the top off of that and I'm gonna let that cook down. You guys see that? I got too many things in my hand here. Let's break this back. I think I'll move that up to the front burner, actually. That way you guys can see that one a little bit better. Let me just kind of finagle some stuff around right quick. Throw this lid back on there, where it goes. Then I'll bring this one back up here and we'll start here in the front burner. There we go. And we'll bring that up here. Turn that off in the back. We don't need that on there anyway. But let me get you guys over to this right here. That's looking really good, and it is smelling. That smells unbelievable. It really does. Move this thing out of the way, and we'll get a whisk and start. Actually, I don't need a whisk. I just need a slotted spoon for this. But that's looking gorgeous. We'll have and it smell. Oh my gosh, does that smell good? That's surprising. Like, I ripped that lid off. I took that lid off there, and I'll be darned if that did. I mean, I can't even believe how good that smells. Anytime you add rhubarb to something, I know a lot of people are not big rhubarb fans, but for me, anytime I add rhubarb to any kind of anything, like an apple crisp or pie or anything like that, you just throw a little bit of rhubarb in there and it just gets that, it's got that tangy, almost a sour smell to it, and it just goes over. It just makes it, for me, to be really honest. Let's see, so we'll put that up there. And I don't need this, I don't think, well, I'll put it off to the side just in case I need the spatula again. There we go. Rhubarb's awesome. I mean, it really is, and I eat it all the time, and I love having my own rhubarb plant to just kind of, I almost get to where I'm like, oh, that rhubarb stock's not that great. I just throw it into the pile and move on. Let's see, I didn't get a notice. Oh, sorry. Cynthia, let me see if I can see it. I didn't get a notice, Bob. Maybe I was chewing so much, my ears were popping and I missed it. Yeah, one thing is, if you guys are, the notifications, I don't do these on a schedule. Like, I don't schedule the time, because I can't. I don't know how to. I've tried to do that before, and that's really went bad. But as far as like my posts go, I don't think you viewers get notifications when I do a post. You just kind of have to have, you just kind of have to see where, it should come up that it's there, but I mean, that's just like, it's kind of like putting a Facebook post up. It's about the same deal. So that's about how that works. But yeah, I'm going to leave the lid off of that and let that go. And then we're going to, I'm actually going to set the, I'm going to set the sauce off onto that back burner, and then we're going to work on our pork chops and get the show on the road. Get this show going. Let's see, I don't move this over to here for just a momentito, and then drop this to the back, and we'll put that on the back burner and let that simmer up on there. There we go. Then we'll put that on the simmer mode, and we'll take the lid off here because we really aren't going to use or need that much for anything. Alright, I'll make sure this doesn't burn. Hold on, let me put this lid back here for a second. Like I said, it's like working in an elevator, folks, I'll tell you that. Sometimes. So let me clear off a little bit of space, and then we'll do the pork chops. Let me just give myself a little room to breathe, catch a drink of something, and we'll go from there. I was about cooking something. William, now that song's going to be in my head. I'm going to actually have to. They say that if you actually listen to a song, then it won't, you can get it out of your head, but I don't know. And if you have, like, one thing I wanted to say real quick, when you make your own homemade sauce, the shelf life on it is not like what happens when you get a store-bought sauce. Like, this sauce itself is probably only going to be good for about a week, especially with the fruit in it. Without the fruit, 2 to 3 weeks if you throw it in a canning jar with a real tight lid on, and you keep it in the refrigerator. If not, after about 2 to 3 weeks, the sauce isn't. Even after 2 weeks, the flavor kind of starts to get a little sketchy, but it will work. But with the fruit in it, it's only going to be good for about a week, and then it'll start getting a little, it'll get a little sketchy after that. But like I said, just give me a second to kind of clear myself a pathway and grab something to sip on for just a second, and then we'll get into the pork chops. You just did, Cynthia says she just did Philly steak and cheese sandwiches. Shrimp po' boys. That sounds good. Shrimp po' boy is that's a pretty rad sandwich, if you ask me. And that's just if you ask, but I think it's one of the best things out there. And it's hard to get a good one. Up here, it's hard to get a good po' boy. There's a lot of people that say it. And if you do want a good one, you're paying an insane amount of money. An insane amount of cash. So let's get this on there. And what I'm going to do with the pork chops is I'm not going to finish them in here, because we'll bake those at, I got the oven set right now, if you guys can't see it already, it's a 385, and we're going to go from right there with that. Let me see here. Let me just check on the chat here for just a second. And I'm not going to over spice anything on the pork chops. We're just going to get a nice sear on them. Nice kind of sear. We're just going to brown them. Then I'm going to cover them in the sauce, and then we're going to throw them in and bake them. And then we're going to have our stuff. And then we'll be plating it up. As long as the sauce wants to play ball. The sauce is kind of being a little watery. And the burners want to take off a little bit. Turn that down. Turn that one burner down. Okay, so let's get our oil in there. And just a little vegetable oil in there. Not a whole heck of a lot. And we'll work that around as well. There we go. And I'm just going to throw down, I am going to throw down a little bit of garlic in there to keep things together, to keep things fair and flavorful. A little minced garlic in there, about a teaspoon, about a tablespoon. Throw that in there. And get that going. There we go. And then we'll toss, let me glove up here. I'll grab the pork chops. And I'm just using simple 1-inch thick pork chops from the butcher. Nothing crazy. That garlic in there going. No bone in this one. Let me just move that around just a smidge. That garlic around into that oil. And get that into there. There we go. That around. Roll that up to the top. And out of my way. Throw those in here. And I'm thinking about a minute or two It's like 2 minutes per side, because I don't want these to overcook. There we go. Those out of the way. And we'll hit those with a little bit of salt and pepper, and we'll call those finished as far as the seasoning goes. There we go. And that'll be it for that. That okay? Wafa Ahmed said hello. Hello, how are you? Naz fan said rock on, man. Thank you so much. You folks, if you're just joining in, please hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. I would be greatly appreciated of that. And I don't want to overcook these, even though they are an inch thick. We're going to, because we're going to throw our barbecue sauce on top of these, and we're going to put them in the oven and let that thicken up, and go from there. Let's see there. Take this garlic out, because I don't need that anymore. That's just there for the oil. Just there for the oil. That's all it's there for. I don't need it to season the pork. I don't need it to do anything like that. It just needs to be there. Just needs to be in that oil, and that's all it was there for. Let's see. Wagga. Oh, Wagga. I must have missed something. They're actually, everything's stopping, and all the comments will stop for a second, and I'm like, okay, I'll have time to read it in just a second. And then I come back to it, and it's like, bam, it's gone. No, you won't. No, you won't. So there we go. Keep going with that. Oh, dropping stuff. Dropping stuff everywhere. It's gonna be a dropping stuff kind of day. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling it. I've been dropping things all morning long. And this evening. There we go. Take over here, and I'm gonna smash this up. Gonna pulverize these. I wish I had a smaller smasher, like the meat thing, but I do not. Go. And these will be ready to pop over in just a second. There we go. Timer on that. Spatula for these. Like I said, I'm not trying to get a huge sear on them. I'm just trying to brown them up a little bit. I'm not trying to I want that center to not be done. I just want to give it that nice cooked flavor on the outside, and I'm going to let the barbecue sauce, I'm going to let that sauce do the work. And that sauce is awesome. I mean, if you guys get a chance, if you're looking, you know, and I made that sauce out of basically what most people have in their house, just like kind of laying around, without all the weird stuff that you get from buying a commercial barbecue sauce. There's no VHT in it. There's no any of that kind of stuff. And the molasses sauce, there's even less stuff in it. But like I said, I just cannot find that anywhere to save my life. Let's see. I'll slap a plate or no match lid so people make it over. Let's see, hi Joey. Oh, somebody named Joe. Yeah, lodge number 7. That is this is a super rare. I showed it at the beginning. Yeah, it's a super rare lodge from like 90. They made this from like 1993 to roughly 2007, and then they never made them again. And you know, Lodge is kind of classic for that kind of stuff. They, you know, for the longest time, they didn't make the Modern 6. The Modern 6 there, I know a few years back, like around 2020, 2021. I couldn't find a Lodge 6 to save my life. I had to get it, I couldn't get it offline. I actually had to pick one up from the seconds department at the Cornbread Festival in Tennessee in 2022 is when I actually got a Lodge number 6 from the modern series, from a modern one. And yeah, that my number 6 that I got was, the thing that's really cool about that thing is that I got it out of the second spin, but it was so fresh from the factory that it was actually, and this is no kidding, no BS, that it was actually still warm, which you just never, like, that's how new that skillet was, that number 6. It was still warm from the factory. And they brought it out, they were bringing everything out, and they would just wheel these big carts out there, and they just have pans stacked and stacked and stacked. And they brought it over there, and you know, during the Cornbread Festival, they were so busy that, I'll give that just a 1 minute. I'm gonna go 1 minute more on the one side, because I want that, it's gonna need to catch up from that flip. But the number 6 I got, I mean, it's so busy down there, they just wheeled in a whole thing of 6s, and I actually sat there while they were warm and just kind of picked out the best one that I wanted. And it didn't even have, they didn't have labels on them, they didn't have anything. They just had little stickers that said how much, they just had little like color-coded stickers on them. And that said how much they were. And so I took it up there, and I think for my number 6 being a second, I think it was like $7.99. If you ever get a chance to go to the Cornbread Festival and hit their second section in the Lodge store, it is 100% worth it, because they just had, I mean, they have everything, it's super cheap, and there's nothing wrong with it. Lodge just has, believe it or not, Lodge just has really high standards for their stuff. I'm gonna just give that other minute, and then we're gonna throw that in. Yeah, it was a freshly baked skillet, that's 100%. Like it, I mean, I couldn't believe it. Like I've never had, that surprised me when I got that, because I was like, wow, that's, you wouldn't think about that getting a skillet from somewhere, but it was like that new, that it was warm from the factory. I'm sure their factory's like hotter than hell, but I mean, think about, you know, I like that. I'll take that as far as being brown on that side. It's not as pretty as the other, but I'll take it. I'll turn the heat off of that, and I'm gonna let that marinate for just a minute, like that. Take that off the heat and bring it to the front burner. It's hot, it's kind of hot. Yeah, to the front burner, and let that kind of cool off for just a second. And we'll bring the other one over to the front, over to that back burner. Bring the sauce over, and put that right there, close to where I can ladle that on. There we go. There we go. That back one off. And we'll give that a good stirring. Put that over there. Stir this around. There we go. You guys can see, can you guys see the sauce in the back? Oh my gosh, that looks beautiful. That is 100% right there. Give that a little stir. I'm gonna turn the heat off of that. But I just want that to kind of chill out just a second. Take that lid off too. Set this off to the side. And we'll throw that in there. That's only going to take about 20 minutes, I think, in the interior of the stove to get to where it needs to be. That up to 400. Take that up to 400. And we'll throw that into there. Throw this into the oven for 10 minutes. Oh wait, nope, I don't want to do that. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry guys, I'm just getting a little ahead of myself. Getting excited, getting hungry really. That's the other thing, I'm starving. Just being in front of all this food, smelling, that sauce smells so good, it's just unbelievable. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna ladle that sauce onto here. Throw a nice ladle of sauce on there. And I'm going to lift that up so I get the stuff onto the bottom as well. Let it sit underneath there. Get a little bit of that juice underneath, so it's got a little bed to land. Get both sides. There we go. Get them peaches on top. Boy, look at that. Get that onto there. Some peaches onto this. Some peaches onto that. Make sure it's good and covered. There we go. All right, then we'll set that into the oven for 20 minutes, and that'll be it on that. That'll be that where that needs to be. Okay, so we'll put the timer on there. 21 minutes. And then what I will do is, in the meantime, I'm going to jar this sauce up and do that. Simmer that up to thicken the sauce. Yeah, it's going to thicken. It's going to thicken in there, Val. Trust me when I say that one. Okay, let me move my stuff out the way. I got a collection of things going on here right now, so I just need to move that out. And then I'm going to jar up the sauce real quick. If that's kind of, oh, I almost forgot. I'm going to throw these on the top. Can you guys see that? There. I'm going to throw those on top for when it comes out. A little pizzazz, as they say in, do they say that in showbiz? I don't know if they do or not, but I just did. Okay, so set that right there. And then I'm going to move the strawberries over, or the applesauce over to the front. I'll let you guys check these out. Theirs are looking really good. That's looking so good. There we go. That over the front to simmer. Bring this way and get it out of the comments. I know you guys have the comment section on, so I'm trying to be amicable with that. Move that into that thing there. There we go. So there's our sauce. It kind of stopped simmering when I moved it over, but it'll catch back up. And I might just toss that little bit of cornstarch in there anyway, thicken that up. I think I might do that. Glad someone else loves the flavor heat like me. Yeah, I love it. I mean, I can't get enough of it. I can't wait. Here pretty soon, I'm gonna do I want to do the hot ones. I've been looking at that for an idea. We'll do the hot ones. We'll do some fried chicken and all that. Let me see. What was I doing? I was doing something. No, I can't remember what the heck it was. Just wondering. I'm sitting over here. I'm sitting over here time traveling. Oh, I was gonna heat up the. Get myself a jar, and we'll spoon in some of that sauce into a jar. That jar sort of heat up for a second. Let that jar heat up so it doesn't shock it. Then we'll drain that over into there and kind of keep stirring on this. Oh, cornstarch, that's what I was going to do. I'm going to throw a little cornstarch in there just for good measure, just to kind of thicken that up just a smidge. Just a little bit. I'll do a 1/4 teaspoon into there to thicken that up. That's all we need. That's what I was going to do. And we'll let that kind of cool off while the pork's in there doing that pork stuff. There we go. Making a mess. There we go. We're going to let that cool down. There we go. Oh my, that smells so good. It smells so good. That's going to be my favorite part. And adding the strawberry and the rhubarb to the apples, just that whole thing. I could probably do this in the fall. But that's going to be good. It's going to be good tomorrow too. When I have a little bit of that for breakfast, and it's nice and cold. Maybe I'll do that for someone with breakfast on the patio in the morning. You wanted cornstarch. Let me see. Who else wanted pork? Sauce for the pork chops. Oh, I missed something. Let's see. Oh, and it just went away. I need another monitor. I think I'm going to start using an iPad too. Like a little iPad to this. So I can see the comments longer. I got the comments rolling on two different things, and they on two different monitors, and I still miss some of them. Let's see. Real life crash dummies. Needs to be spicier. There we go. There's a good portion of nutmeg. There's a lot of nutmeg in that. That looks a lot better. If you guys can see that. And once I leave that off to the side to cool, then that'll be even better. I'm gonna throw this mason jar in there for just about 30 seconds. And so I don't shock that thing. But I just opened it up. I just opened the oven up, and oh my gosh. That's smelling good. That's gonna be good. 15 minutes, guys. And that's gonna be it. I don't even know. I know there's not gonna be a rest period for that. That's for certain. Okay, let me clear off my other spot that I got all mucked up here. So I have a little. You know what would have been good, man? Some homemade limeade. Some homemade limeade for this would have been. That would have done it. That would have been the best. I do have homemade watermelon lemonade though. So I think before it goes, I'm going to pour myself a glass of the homemade watermelon lemonade. Watermelon strawberry lemonade. Ming made that right before she left. So I think I'm going to have some of that. Let me get like I said, I'm just going to clear this little spot off here and get my spot ready. And then you guys won't be staring at that ridiculous pot for more than like another 30 seconds. Just give me 30 seconds and I'll be all right there with you. Just wipe my spot off and get my serving spot ready to go. We're making pretty good time. We've only been doing this about an hour and 20 minutes. And we had to do the thing where we rollered the dog and got her out of the way. Maybe we'll do a little. Anybody ready for some Beegs cam? Do some Beegs cam to pass the time. I'm sure she's ready for some. She's ready for some of her liver treats. I went to the butcher shop today and picked her up liver treats, so she's going to be all about that. So let's do that real quick. Yeah, Greg Hard. Let's do some Beagle. Let's do some Beagle cam. Beegs. There you go. I knew you'd be ready. Always ready to go. There she is. She was out there sleeping. Poor dog. She's at the beckoning call of her fans. You want to sit? Can you sit? Can you sit back where everybody can kind of see you there a little bit? A little bit. Oh yeah, she was out there snoozing. There you go. Just so you know I'm serious. She gets these liver treats from the butcher, and it's actual just liver. They just dehydrate it and make jerky out of it. So it's like super. Poor dog. Like I was sleeping so good, and she goes, "You've had these out here for like an hour." And I was all fired up then. You want to give me a spin? There you go. You can do it. She is so tapping out. Poor dog. Poor Beagle. You want some more? Oh, she's chewing up that big piece she has. That's rhubarb. Oh, I dropped a piece of rhubarb. You don't want that. Can you speak? Can you do a speak? Can't. Oh, you did. And a little one. There's one for. That's an honorable mention treat. Yeah, the Dancing Queen. Beegs merch. I know we're working on that. I'm working on back labels right now for the cast iron cure. So I'm gonna take that in, and she'll probably As ridiculous as it sounds, she'll probably have a, oh, she did one without saying it. There you go. She'll probably have a t-shirt or something. I don't know. I was thinking about dishcloths. I was thinking maybe dishcloths or something. I don't know. I was running it by the lady that's working on my labels. She was like, yeah, dishcloths maybe, or an apron. Here you go. There you go. All right. Yeah, there you go, kid. Everybody's loving it. I don't know. I'm trying to see if she's in the... Okay, can you sit again? Can you sit? Into the shot there. All right. Can you shake? Thank you. Come on. And what about the one we've been working on? This will be a good one. If I can get her to do this, I'll be pretty happy. Every time I move the camera back, she moves back. Go down, down. Can you go down? Down, down, down. 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 Down, down, down. Oh. Down, down, down. There you go. Good job. Was that on there? Oh, she did it. There she goes. Good job. We've been working on down. Oh. Let's see here. And we'll get one more spin and we'll get back to doing what we're doing. All right, come here, give me a spin. There you go. All right, plus I'm out of liver treats. I'm out of liver. Good job. Treat jar. She has a, we keep the treats in these have to be kept refrigerated. They have to, I keep them in the freezer. They have to be kept in the freezer because they're liver. They're like real live, real liver. Let me see here. I'm gonna wash my hands. Hit my hands with a little sanitizer. Okay, so we got our, get the serving dish there. And I'm gonna grab that jar out of the oven. And we're gonna fill that up with our sauce so that can cool off to the side. There we go. There we go. Quick that over. So I got you guys all over the place tonight. I'm sorry about that. I've really been, everybody's been just like all over the place. Let's see, throw that onto there. Move these out of the way. These out of here. And I knew I'd need that spatula one more time, because we're going to get rid of the sauce, get that extra sauce in there without getting it all over me, which is going to be pretty much an impossibility, but there we go. So I'm trying not to keep this acidy stuff into my cast iron too long, because like I said to begin with, it's freshly seasoned. I've probably used this maybe 3 times since I've seasoned it up, so I don't want to do that any longer. And we've got about, normally that recipe minus the fruit will make a quart jar. It'll make 2 cups. Ooh, that's hot. But it'll make 2 cups. So that's what you'll get if you did that recipe just on its own, without the sauce recipe, without using the fruit in there. You come up with it'd be about right there to the top of the finish, right before the threads. And I'm going to throw that off to the side so that can cool without burning me to death. And we've got just about 8 minutes. We'll check on the I'll check on the progress here of our pork chops. They should be coming along. A little lag. I thought about making lime juice tonight, and then I realized that I didn't have enough limes to make lime juice. So we'll get that out of here, and we're going to pour ourselves some watermelon lemonade. I'm going to finish this off if I can get it out of the container. Get it out of here. And put that down. We're going to finish this off from the, there we go. Open that up just a smidge. Finish this up. Got to carburate it. There we go. There we are. Watermelon strawberry lemonade. It is summer. There we go. Move that off to the side. That's it on that. There we go. A couple ice cubes in there. Just a couple, honestly. That's not all we're going to need. Because I'm about 5 minutes messed up on the, I guess one. We'll take a little sip of that. Ming got that from her friend, the recipe for that, and from her friend in England. And I gotta say that it actually is really, really good. Like surprisingly good. And I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna plate up some of this applesauce, because we're getting down to the nitty gritty at this point. We are getting there. The sauce is looking really good. Maybe I won't have enough for tomorrow. That'll be about enough for today. So if you're making that for a crowd, you might want to rethink the... Because I did this, I think I had, what? 3/4 cup of apple. And let's see, about 6 strawberries, 5, 6 strawberries at the most, and then what was the other? What was the rest of it? Oh, and a stalk of rhubarb, and that was all that was in that. That was pretty much what it was from Jump Street there. But yeah, if you guys can see that, okay. See that, okay? That's. It smells amazing. I think I'm going to top it with just a little bit of, put a little bit of nutmeg on top of that. And some, you know, the one thing I forgot to do, I forgot to put into this, which goes good on all this stuff, is, if I could find, oh my gosh. Where's my pepper? Where's my black pepper? I know I just had black pepper. See how my day's going? I'll just get the big pepper out. With a little bit of black pepper on the top. And a little bit of black pepper. There we go. There's that so far. And my towel to wipe everything off. You guys see that okay? You guys get a good... Man, I'm like all messing the shot up tonight. Like 100% totally screwing the shot up tonight. Oh. And hopefully I got the 200 views. I don't know if I did, because this has been kind of a weird one tonight. It's taken kind of a while. I honestly thought this wasn't going to take as long as it did to get all this stuff done. Let's see. So we've got that. Got that. There's no saving. Pinch of salt, this group. In Louisiana, he couldn't stay in here. It's, what kind of weather are you looking at in Louisiana today? Because I know it can't. It's really hot here today. It's like, it was like 90. It was 90 degrees, and we had almost 100% humidity. Because here where I live, I get a little bit of everything. So that's what we had here, Cynthia. We had almost like 89, 100% humidity. That's what we had. Let's see, there's no saving them. I can only see the edges of the dish. You can only see the oh, okay. Does that help? Oh, hey, Bud Brooker, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Just in time for, just about ready to plate it up, actually. I'm just doing some, I'm doing some chili peach pork chops, homemade sauce, and I did some applesauce with rhubarb and strawberry in it, and getting in the shot and ruining everybody's ruining everybody's shot, getting in the way of everything. We even did some beak scam to pass the time. So yeah, and some strawberry watermelon lemonade. That's what I had for. That's what my drink is. And my dog is just. She's been over here going crazy because people are actually outside next door, and so she's got to be acting. She's got to act a fool to show off that she does no. That's the thing. It's my neighbor lady. She knows my dog, obviously, and she watches the streams, and she's like, "Your dog is so well behaved during the videos." But if I let her outside, she has a thing. She's really hard to be around people. She's really reactive. She jumps on everybody. She goes crazy for people. She doesn't do it with other dogs, cats. She doesn't like our squirrels, and she definitely hates the rabbits. But she doesn't really freak out about a lot of stuff. But in people, she loses her mind when there's other people around, and it's really tough. You know, like I said, the neighbor's like, she's just minding and she's doing tricks and she's being so good, and then you let her outside and I'm outside and she's like trying to rip out of her leash to get over and get petted and show off and showing herself and all this, that, and the other. Okay, and the pork chops are done a few minutes early, which is nice. Okay, so we'll turn all that off and we'll slip on the mitt. And there we go. Yeah, White Mountain Girl. Yeah, Whitey. She's a busy gal, and plus, I've said it in a couple of the other videos. We're both friends with Gino Gregory, who is really having a bad time right now. He is having a really rough time. He actually just took a turn for the worst today, and so I'm trying to keep everything. Definitely give him another shout out at the end. But here we go. Here's the pork chops just out of the oven. For everybody who was wondering if they would thicken up, they have thickened up and are doing what they were supposed to do in that really super cool number 7 Lodge skillet. And we'll bring that over here. We'll just let you guys get a nice look at those. These things are banging. It smells incredible. It's got a nice, like you can smell, it's not so much you can smell like the heat is so, you know, like you open up the oven door and it takes your breath away, but you can smell that heat that's in there. Just and they're just absolutely, they got a gorgeous color. Gorgeous color. I hope you guys can see it on your thing, on your end of it. As I sit there with my hand, I've just ruined all the shots with my spatula in front of the whole thing, so. Anyway, I'll take a couple of these over there. They're right at about 170. When I check the temperature, they're 170 degrees. And we did those for 18 minutes at 400. So slip those over to here, onto there. And let's see what else. What else do I got? Throw some of this sauce on there. Throw a little bit of that sauce onto there. Oh, I wanted a little sauce for the side. That's what I wanted the sauce for. A little side dip. Dip on the sides. There. If I can manage to do this without getting into the shot again. Bring this over this way so you guys can see what I'm doing. Sauce into there for the dip. With a little bit over top. A little bit of that over there. There we go. And there we are. I'm happy with that. I am loving that. 78 right now in Syracuse. Man, I'd love to see that. I can't see 78. I can't see 78 for the last, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks, unless it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. Let's see, somebody else just jumped. Suruja Pandit, hello, how are you? Good to see you. Which country? We are in the United States. Let's see. And there we go. Oh, and I wanted to pop in a little bit. I've got a little bit of coleslaw, but I want to jump onto the side. We'll just let that sit and rest for a minute while I get some coleslaw on there. Coleslaw off to the side. There we go. There we go. All right. I'm getting it, don't worry. There we go. And some coleslaw. There. And there's my dinner. There we go. And a little more black pepper. I'm going to need that. I don't have anything, Bagel. You can't have any of this. This is not dog friendly. So you're going to have to stick to your food. And there we go. Did you make your own slaw? I did not make this slaw. I did not make the slaw this time. I picked that up today from the deli at the butcher shop because I wanted coleslaw with my barbecue, and I did not want to go out and though I do enjoy making my own coleslaw, which we've made on the show before, but I did not feel like it today. So let's dig into this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's nice. Nice and juicy. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's got some, that's nice and juicy in there. That is good. And the spice isn't overbearing. It really isn't. It's not an overbearing spice at all. It's there, but it's really good. Just need something to drink. Yeah, that's tasty. Get a little dip of that sauce. Let's dip this in some of that sauce there. That sauce is really good. I really recommend that sauce. See what the comments say. Let's see. When we both figured out that I was zoomed out on my iPad. Oh, that's funny. Nobody does. It's not real. Val, it's not real. It doesn't. It's not even real. I don't think that. I think it's totally made up. I'm gonna grab another bite of that. That's good. And then for the sauce, for the apple sauce. There we go. Oh, that's phenomenal. That sauce is so good. I'm gonna have to get another bite of that. And the sweet and the spice together, it's hitting. That's what you want. That is awesome. Let's see. What's what is should never look at the same. Where's the desire? Oh man, that's deep. That is. Oh, a bot. No worries, as long as the thumbs up. Yeah, I'll take the thumbs up. I'm not worried. That's valid. That's why I don't pay any attention to those, because they're just bots. A lot of times. It's nothing. That's why I talk to them the way I do. I don't talk to people. I'm a pretty respectful person. I don't really usually talk to people like too coarse if I can help it. Wow. I wish I'd have made more of that. I mean, the pork chop is really good. Peter, Brady, and Alice would be proud. Alice might even get fired over this. What was her name? What was her name in real life? Susan B. Oh, I can't remember the last one. I want to say Susan B. Anthony, but that's not it. I'm trying to think what. I'm trying to think. What was her name? I get unwanted calls. Tell them they reach the office of deportation. Please leave an address, and we'll be there to pick you up. That's funny. That is really funny. No, I do not come live every day. Andy Davis, that's what it is. What did I say, Susan B? Susan, I knew it was B in the center. I got her confused with the flag maker. Carter Bain, good to see you though. I'm not a bot. I'm a person that asks serious questions. It all looks the same. What is it? Chili. So I wasn't talking about you, Carter Bain. I was talking about somebody else that was up. If you scroll up farther, you will see it. No, it is chili peach pork chops and applesauce with rhubarb and strawberries in there. Whitey, what's going on? There's my future ex-wife. How are you? White Mountain Girl's in the house. I made peach and chili pork chops and with homemade barbecue sauce, peach chili barbecue sauce, and applesauce with rhubarb and strawberries in it. That's what I'm making. I made you blush? I'm so sorry. He's not a bot. Bots can usually handle basic punctuation. Yeah, there you go. No, I was talking about Carter Bain being a bot. Did you make a whole? Yeah, you got me on that last one. Make a on turns. On tums of. Yeah, I lost me on that, buddy. Sorry. Yeah, it's really good. I've done this sauce a few times. I really enjoy the sauce. That's the chili peach is a good one. And it's, speaking of which, I'm gonna have another bite of it. But the pork chops came out really, really well. I'm pretty happy with pork chops. I should have cut that end piece off to begin with and let the beaks have that. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Maybe I'll rinse it off. Yeah, whatever we can do to get the subs up. I'm interested to see, I mean, once I jump off here, because we're really close to 500, like so close to 500, and we were really close to 100,000 views tonight. So I'm not sure how many people. I don't really watch that while I'm doing anything. Hell, I can barely watch the comments while I'm cooking, to be super honest. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, if you guys get a chance, I mean, I flashed up the sauce at the very beginning. I really wish I could find my 100% molasses, no ketchup barbecue sauce recipe, but this is a good one, especially if you you're out of barbecue sauce, you saw how I made it. It's everything you have just sitting like basically on the shelf, and you can throw it together, simmer it down, and it's ready to go. It doesn't need to sit. I mean, anytime it sits, it's always better. But this is ready to go. Like, well, we just made this like an hour. We just started it about an hour ago. But yeah, that's definitely, everything came out really well. If you guys could see it, I know I was in the shot, like, I was in the camera shot like the whole night. And every time the Beagle came out here, she was in the comment. I had to keep moving it back because she gets closer and closer. The closer to the, closer she can get to the treats, the better she feels. But yeah, but that's what we got. Let's see, I went shopping today, got cheese for my princess baby girl, 4-legged fur dogger. A piece for daddy, a piece for her, and one for daddy, one for her. Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. What am I drinking? Oh, White Mountain Girl, I don't know if you saw the other day that while Ming was here, she made watermelon strawberry lemonade. And so that's what I'm finishing. I'm finishing that off. I've got a little bit left. Actually, it makes a really good popsicle. I made popsicles out of it after she went home a couple days ago, and there's so much of it. I made popsicles, and they're really good popsicles. To be super transparent. My barbecue sauce is really close to yours, Pat Z. Oh, yeah. I mean. So you got an idea how this tastes without me even saying anything. It's a great sauce. It's a really good sauce, and so easy. Like I said, I am so frustrated I can't find my 100% molasses sauce recipe. That it's just driving me nuts. And I've got a feeling that somebody has borrowed it and didn't say they borrowed it, and then now it's sitting in somebody else's cookbook. Because I really like that one. Yeah, this has been, keep the watermelon out. Val, you don't like what? Excuse me, don't like, oh, you're not a fan of watermelon? Watermelon's not for everybody. But it is, I've been eating, I don't even know how big that watermelon is we got Saturday. But I've been eating, it's been watermelon week. I've been loving it. I love watermelon. Yeah, little vodka in it. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. It's that kind of like it could use it's pretty I don't want to say stout, but it's really flavorful, and it's got a lot. The lemon in there, you can definitely tell there's lemon in here. But there we go. Let's see. Spoil my cats too. Nowadays I get their food by Chewy. That's your subscription? Is your Chewy subscription? That's awesome. The dog ate my recipe. Yeah, this dog, my dog, I wouldn't be surprised if this dog didn't eat my recipe. I went out to the garage a little bit ago, and something was in tinfoil out there, and it's now, there's this chewed up tinfoil. I can't believe something would chew up tinfoil. The thought of chewing up tinfoil, something that was in tinfoil, it just blows my, it makes some, it's one of those sounds or one of those thoughts of things, like chewing tinfoil, I just don't think I can imagine it. Yeah, Whitey, I don't know what she got into, but she'll sneak out there, because I have I have like a drink refrigerator out there, and I'll go out and like grab drinks and bring them in, and then I'll be standing here for like 15 minutes, and I'll be like, where's my, I'll notice the dog's not in here, and I realize that she's out in her, she goes and gets in her pen in the garage, and then because it's warm, like I have the air conditioner on, I have the central air in here, so she'll go out and she'll want to go lay in her pen in the garage because it's warmer, and I'll actually forget she's out there, and then I'll come out, and then like that, I don't know what the hell she chewed up, but I'd imagine at some point I'll figure it out. But anyway, okay, we've been doing this about 2 hours. Oh my gosh, this is the longest one I've done in a long time. Yeah, so I guess we'll be wrapping this one up. But I really, yeah, sorry guys, I didn't realize we went to 2 hours. That's crazy. We haven't done that one in a long time. Let's see, sometimes the dog will eat. Yeah. No, not my bedtime. My bedtime is not for about another 4 or 5 hours, maybe. I'll be up for quite some time. But it's definitely cleanup time. It'll be cleanup time here pretty soon. But yeah, I haven't done a 2 hour. We haven't done a 2 hour live stream in a long time. It's been a while since we did that. I have to get up at 6. I do get up around between 5:30 and 6 and let Beagle. We do a walk, but then I go back. I usually go back to bed. I usually get up about 8:30. Go to bed about 2. Get up about 8:30. So that's how I do it. It's probably where you are. It's probably like full sunshine. See, at 6 o'clock in the morning, it's just barely light out here. So there's nothing I can do. But I tried to take the dog out at about 6 because that's like after everybody's kind of went to work here on my street, and then she's pretty easy to walk then. Yeah, I never sleep a whole night. I'm not a good sleeper. I've never have been my entire life. Let's see, I have to punch down dough. Night all. See you, Jay. Thanks for showing up. Thanks to everybody who showed up tonight. Thanks for everybody who hit the like button tonight. I didn't get a chance to see it, but yeah, it was huge. Let's see, you go to bed about 2. See, that's what I'm saying, Fuzz. I go to bed about 2, 3 o'clock. Get up about 8:30. I got let's see, a Fuzzy on the pick. Missed the beginning. Family, stay safe and have a very blessed, kind. Guess I'll go scrub iron again. There you go. Idle hands. Yep. Rick, thanks for showing up. Beegs merch. It's in the works. There is some scuttlebutt about some Beegs merch. I don't know what we're gonna do, but there will be some at some point. So we'll be doing that. White Mountain Girl, thanks so much for showing up. Pat Z, thanks for showing up. Val's Black Cash Rule, thank you so much for showing up. Greg Hart, as always, GH, thank you so much. Let's see, go to bed at 12 and up at 5. That's when I was working. That was kind of my work schedule. And I just want to say before I get off of here, positive vibes, prayers, whatever you guys are into. But for my friend Gino Gregory, who is taking a pretty bad turn for the worse, I found out today. Actually, White Mountain Girl let me know that. So if you guys can send some positive vibes and some prayers his way, that would be greatly appreciated. In tonight's shows, as always, as far as last go, has been dedicated to Gino. I hope you're doing great. I hope, sometimes you got to wait until the second round to knock it out. So we're hoping that's what happens for you. But anyway, I'm gonna let everybody jump off here, and I will see you guys hopefully Sunday. But I will definitely see you again in the comment sections. All right, see ya.